Hey, folks, this is Jim Horn with Travers Talks, and today we're going to be talking with Merrick Roman from the Slabtown Neighborhood Association, and he's going to be telling us how Slabtown is working to put some teeth into the association where many voices will be speaking as one. So let's get with it and talk to Merrick. Well, Merrick, welcome to Travers Talks. And as I said in the intro, we're going to talk about neighborhood associations. And I think a lot of people in Traverse City don't realize that we really have some neighborhood associations. And when I did some digging into it, it looks like we either have 11 or 12, depending on, how they're counted. And for example, we got the Boardman neighborhood, the Central neighborhood. We've got the Slabtown neighborhood, which you're vice president of. Got the Old Town neighborhood, a lot of neighborhoods. And then what I did was I went to the website for Traverse City, and I read about neighborhoods, and it says citizens of Traverse City who share a common neighborhood identity, goals, and concerns may elect to form a neighborhood association. And because the city of Traverse City recognizes that neighborhood associations facilitate neighborhood involvement in decisions affecting its neighborhoods. And it ran on, and I read it. I said, yep, that's a nothing burger. That is, yeah, it says, hey, we recognize you guys. So you guys in Slabtown are trying to put some meat on the bone, so to speak. In other words, to be a stronger political voice. And I don't know if any of the other neighborhoods are doing anything like that. So why don't you tell us what Slabtown is doing? You've got a meeting coming up August 28th, if I'm correct, and you can talk about that. So give us an idea of what you guys want to accomplish with your bylaw changes.
So yes, thank you so much Jim, for this wonderful platform and this conversation we're going to have. Yes, the neighborhoods are part of Traverse City. They are recognized through a resolution that is on the city website that they signed years ago. And the idea of having an association within the city of Traverse City, different parts, because we are a very diverse city. And there's no power or anything like that, but it's a way for the neighbors to come together as one voice recognized by the city and to, have community cohesion, or to have, some sort of opinion that they can come forward with. And what we were doing as part of the Slabtown Neighborhood Association with these bylaws that we're redoing is we're trying to analyze what the structure of the neighborhood association should be. When do we meet? Who are the members? And how can the association have an opinion to convey to the city? And I think there's a good balance with trying to make sure that we have a very inclusive association, and I'll go into that in a second, that is representative of the neighbors that are within Slabtown or within the neighborhoods. I represent Slabtown, but I am a taxpayer and part of the city of Traverse City. And how do we have a message that when Slabtown speaks, that the neighborhood or that the city commission can understand, we've done our due diligence to make sure that we've gotten a lot of consensus from the neighbors trying to put something forward.
I would imagine when you've tried to reach out before, and I've listened to public comments, it's one person getting up in front of the city commission. I don't want to use the word ranting and raving. That's unfair, but they're upset about something and they say, hey, we want to do this. And, they might be from Slabtown, they might be from Oak Park or Kids Creek or wherever. And it probably goes unnoticed, I would think.
It does take some courage as a private citizen to get up and go in front of the city commission and have a comment and put yourself out there, because you are on TV, you are being recorded, it is in the minutes, and you are just one person in the city commission to listen to, and they can use it, not listen to it. They can always make up their mind, but it's not the point of making these communications is just to make sure you voice your opinion. And what's something I want to get into with the bylaws that we included is in section 1.02 for purpose. And we had, this is something newer that we're stating in our first section. If, but only if so voted by the association's members at a duly noticed member meeting to advocate for neighborhood interests with governmental bodies and with institutions, schools, and businesses in and around Slabtown neighborhood. And the idea of that section is to make sure that I, as vice president, or whoever is a representative elected officer, cannot go to the city commission and say, I represent Slabtown. We're stating in our bylaws explicitly that we will have an opinion, and it will be brought up at the member meeting. That's twice a year now, or will be twice a year with the amended bylaws. And that letter will be sent to the city commission. And what's important about this idea versus I, Merrick Roman, going to the city commission is that we're not only having a member meeting that a lot of people should attend, but we're actually ensuring by our bylaws that we notice with leaflets on every single door in Slabtown that there is a meeting coming up and that there is an agenda and a potential vote for an opinion to go to the city commission, letting them know what we think. And again, the neighborhood association has no power, but having us come together in an organized way will give that much more weight to the city commission.
Yeah, I can see that, the voice of one that gets up there now is the voice of many. Isn't that what you're saying?
Correct. And just to restate, it's just a matter of the association can have an opinion, but we're making sure that it's not when a person goes up there cannot represent. When a person brings it to the city commission, it will be signed by the membership.
Now, do you see other neighborhood associations, or maybe some are already doing this? I don't know. Are some doing this already, or are are you guys taking the lead?
So we're taking the lead with leafleting every single household to let them know that we have a member meeting. Which is different than just putting signs out and putting stuff on social media. For there to be a member meeting which is twice a year or as needed, we have to have leafleted all of the households that don't have the no solicitation stickers as best we can within 2 weeks prior to that meeting, and that gives a little bit more weight to the city commission that the Slabtown neighborhood is making sure that they're informing their people of a meeting that's going on.
And you've got this meeting coming up August 28th. Why don't you tell the folks that are listening to the podcast now where the meeting is at, how they can participate, and so forth?
So we're having a special meeting to amend the bylaws. And what we've been going on since the May spring meeting for Slabtown is that we've been going through iterations of the bylaws. We've had a bylaws committee that was brought about by the May meeting to look and see where we could update the voting procedures, the purpose of the association, and everything. And we've done this work on having a listening session, drafting the bylaws and putting them on the website. But now is the time on the 28th to have a special meeting at which we will accept the bylaws as presented. And then we will then have a fall member meeting where we will proceed ahead with elections for new officers and new board of directors, or officers and district directors. And what's interesting is that we've, in this bylaws, took something out of the Central Neighborhoods playbook with having different street directors to make sure that when there is a meeting or if there are any problems, that there are helpful people that are on the elected board who will leaflet these households, and anything that comes up for concerns in their neighborhood, bring it to the elected body.
Super. So we've got an election coming up. For a matter of fact, I just talked to one candidate, Laura Ness, yesterday, and there's a couple other candidates coming on. Are you guys going to be endorsing candidates for the Traverse City Commission, or are you just going to or just give the residents of Slabtown the ideas, or an idea of which one you think may be best, or whatever?
I don't think it's in our to-do list to provide a recommendation or an endorsement to our candidates, to our members. I think that it's wonderful to have these meetings so that these candidates can show up if they choose to, even if they're not in the neighborhood, just to hear what's going on. And I think that's the important point of these associations, is that it is a platform for the neighbors to be heard and to talk about things that affect them in their neighborhood, rather than sitting through a very long city commission meeting with multitude of topics. And having that platform and having the association there is the key part for just the platform to be able to hear those opinions.
So what you're saying,
necessarily express it.
Yeah, what you're saying is, if you're a candidate, show up at the Slabtown meeting. That's what you're saying. And that
yeah, exactly. And I've reached out. I make sure I've actually had a couple candidates email the Slabtown email, which just to introduce the Slabtown website is traversitysna.org, and then we have an email address, contact@traversitysna.org, and that will go one central email that goes straight to the board, the elected board.
Okay.
And yes, I'm making sure that any candidate wants to come out. As far as what the agenda will be on the September meeting, we have not made an agenda for that.
Okay. So one more time, August 28th, the Slabtown bylaw meeting, and where's it at? Where it's being held?
It is at Darrow Park, and it will be at 7 p.m.
Okay, folks.
And I'm sorry. Can I amend that really quick?
Oh, sure.
We actually just had a recent development that we have the Bayview Church that is on the corner of Spruce in Bay Street. They have just graciously opened up their doors to us. I apologize. I actually updated that on the social media, and it is it's a wonderful update. We used to meet at the Ashbury Methodist Church, but that is up for sale now, and so we are very lucky to have someone donate their space to us.
Yeah, and you can get there just in case it rains. One never knows,
Exactly.
Well, Merrick, listen, I appreciate you coming on the podcast and talking about this. It's good that the neighborhood associations are really getting behind many people, one voice, and I think that's going to get you a lot more attention with the Traverse City Commission than just somebody standing up and making a public comment. This is a good move on your part.
Yeah, and if I could say one more thing to your viewers, even to your listeners, that this is the local politics is the most important thing to you as listeners, and getting involved. And you don't have to get elected to the city commission or to the county commission, but being involved and just having a little bit of connection and expressing your opinions to people always helps out. Having a participating tax base and a participating culture is exactly what we need in our landscape more than ever.
You got it. Okay, Merrick, you take care. Have yourself one wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for everything. And you have a wonderful weekend yourself.
Okay, Merrick, I will get this out. I didn't notice any particular... you left. Okay.